shopping on their ass. I just bought a new old jet. Yeah.
Beth Black and Jack Boy is now being blamed for bullets flying in Sanford. Both of the.
How do you feel?
Yeah, feel good, feel great. I love it already, and I'm matching with the wall.
From the highs of stardom to the lows of conviction, Kodak Black has been on an absolute roller coaster in recent years, and it doesn't seem like it's getting better anytime soon. He's collaborated with some of the biggest names in the music industry and released some great hits. But despite all his success, Kodak has had a tough time dealing with the law and drugs, and it's starting to take a toll on him. Even Kanye West once said he wanted to fly out to Florida just to help him out. To really understand what Kodak's going through, you need to know how he ended up in this mess in the first place. And by the way, when I say downfall, I'm not talking about his career crashing. He's still making music and staying in the game, but personally and mentally, he's struggling. You'll see what I mean as we go on. Lately, fans have been really worried about Kodak. There have been tons of viral videos showing him in bad shape, like nodding off in public or looking out of it in a parking lot. In one video, he even passed out behind the wheel of his car. It seems like his legal troubles and drug issues are totally connected, and it's been wrecking his life and career. But this isn't a new problem for Kodak.
Yeah, nigga, they do. Off top, I don't give a fuck. Like, what is my? I don't give a fuck if we want to kill each other. I don't know for what fuck.
He's been into music since he was a kid, recording songs at a local trap house after school. But at the same time, he was getting into trouble, fighting, and even breaking into places with his friends. By 5th grade, he got expelled for fighting, and soon after, he got arrested for Grand Theft Auto while still in middle school. You can see that his childhood wasn't exactly smooth, and these issues followed him into his teenage years. When he was a teen, things didn't get better. He ended up in a youth detention center 3 times in 1 year. After that, they put him on probation, all before he turned 18. Around this time, Kodak's career started to take off with his hit song No Flockin' in 2014, even catching Drake's attention. But as soon as his career started climbing, his legal issues kept coming. In 2015, he was arrested for battery, false imprisonment, and possession of cannabis. More arrests followed for weapons charges, robbery, and violating probation, even after blowing up with songs like Tunnel Vision and being named a 2016 XXL freshman. Kodak's legal and drug problems just wouldn't stop. He got arrested multiple times, faced sexual assault charges, and ended up in and out of jail. His career kept pushing forward, but his personal life was spiraling. His drug use was well known, and you could even hear it in his songs like Codeine Dreamin', where he talks about his struggles with drugs. Despite all of this, Kodak was still loved by his fans. He was funny, made great music, and had plenty of viral moments. But his constant run-ins with the law were taking a big hit on his career. He had to cancel shows, delay releases, and spend tons of money on legal fees. The more famous he got, the more these problems seemed to follow him. In 2021, Kodak caught a break when former President Donald Trump pardoned him, and Kodak showed his gratitude by releasing music.
When I made that, this tutu right now, go get him. So when I made that, it's something like in Florida called flocker, right?
About it, and even rocking a gold chain with Trump's likeness. But even that wasn't enough to turn things around. Then in 2022, he was arrested again for trespassing and later got shot during a fight outside a restaurant at a Super Bowl party. His drug use became an even bigger issue when he was prescribed painkillers after being shot, and things got worse from there. Then the following year, Kodak tested positive for fentanyl and was ordered to go to rehab, which really made people realize how deep his struggles with drugs had become. During an interview that same year, his behavior raised even more concern from fans, who were starting to wonder if he could ever pull himself out of this downward spiral. Joe Budden even talked about how he's been worried about Kodak for a while. If you haven't seen Kodak Black's appearance on Drink Champs, it's causing quite a stir. Let's just say Kodak didn't look great. At one point, he was wiggling on the floor and talking to himself in the dark, all while being filmed by his friend. This wasn't the first time he looked out of sorts either. Remember that moment when he dodged a bullet from just 2 feet away? The internet picked some strange moments to start caring, but some people, like Joe Budden, had been worried for a while now. A few months later, Kodak spoke up, denying that he was on drugs like cocaine. He admitted he had a drug problem, but said he was fighting it and had even checked himself into rehab. Kodak talked about how the medicines he had been taking were prescribed to him, but he started to abuse them. He was working on getting clean and spent around $350,000 on rehab. He said he went without being forced by the courts. He just knew he needed to do better for his kids. But not long after that, Kodak was arrested again, this time for cocaine possession and tampering with evidence. The police found him passed out behind the wheel of his Bentley in the middle of the road at night. He tried to hide the drugs by swallowing them, but it didn't work. The drugs turned out to be crushed up oxy, and Kodak later posted on social media saying, "I ain't no baser." This was just one part of a bigger cycle. Over the years, there have been countless videos of Kodak abusing drugs, nodding off, acting erratically, and even going to the hospital without much explanation. By 2024, people were really starting to take notice of how bad his problem was. Earlier that year, he admitted at a concert that he regretted glorifying drugs in his song Super Gremlin.
Drug up me, not saying Muhammad Ali, motherfucking Michael Jackson.
He even confessed to chewing about 100 perks, painkillers, a day at one point. Average like 40. He said. He made it clear though that he wasn't proud of it and didn't want others to think it was okay. This statement caused a lot of concern online. Even Adam22 during a No Jumper interview asked Kodak if he was serious about the 100 pills a day. Kodak tried to avoid talking about it and got frustrated when Adam kept bringing it up. Fans speculated that Kodak was dealing with some serious mental struggles on top of his drug issues, and it became clear that Kodak wasn't happy with all the drug-related questions. Then, in November 2024, Kodak appeared on Kai Cenat's stream, and once again, fans were concerned by his behavior. He was acting a little off, and people couldn't help but worry that the same drug problems were still haunting him. So Kodak Black had this deep talk with Wallow and Gilly from the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast. Wallow was really trying to get through to Kodak, giving him a heartfelt speech. Man, you're special. Never doubt yourself. You've got kids depending on you. You've got to be here for them.
Listen, you special. Don't ever doubt yourself. And you got them babies counting on you.
He was mostly talking about how Kodak's kids and family need him, and it's up to Kodak to get his life together. Wallow wasn't just giving him a pep talk though. He wasn't sugarcoating anything. He was serious about how Kodak could lose everything if he didn't turn things around. It was powerful, but even though it seemed like Kodak heard him, things didn't really change. Just a few days later, Kodak went live on Instagram, and when a fan said they loved it when he was sober, Kodak went on a rant. He basically said, "I ain't sober and I'm never going to be." It was a pretty sad moment, especially after all that advice from Wallow. Then the craziest thing happened. A video of Kodak went viral where he was sitting on the ground in a parking lot, acting strange, eating food, and just not himself. The people around him, they were just laughing. It was like they didn't care at all. Kodak's lawyer tried to cover it up, saying that he wasn't on drugs and that they were filming a music video. But by then, the video had already spread everywhere. Even Kanye West noticed what was going on. Kanye made a video saying he felt like he needed to help Kodak. He said he saw the video and felt like it was a sign to go help his brother. Kodak responded to Kanye, saying he appreciated it, but he rambled a lot and it was hard to make sense of everything he said. He did say Kanye was a real one for reaching out though. At this point, a lot of fans are really worried about Kodak. We've seen so many talented artists lose their lives to drugs, and people are afraid the same could happen to him. Some fans think the problem started after Kodak got shot and was prescribed painkillers. Others believe there's more going on, like mental health issues that are even deeper than his drug problems. Kodak himself has said some wild things, like when he claimed he acts crazy to get people to leave him alone. But honestly, after everything we've seen, it doesn't seem like it's just an act. Fans are hoping Kodak can turn things around, not just for his fans, but for his kids and the people in his life who care about him. What do you think the truth is though? Is Kodak telling the truth or does he need help? We'd love to know your thoughts in the comments below.